everyone, good evening and welcome back to Thorough Newspaper Analysis. Today is 2nd of June and this entire video series is brought to you by LawSikho. Now let's head to the agenda for today. So for our editorial segment, we've taken up an Indian Express article which is titled as A Costly Ban. Here we talk about a ban that is being introduced in 2016 by the state government in Bihar on the consumption of liquor. So we talk about the amendment that has been recently brought about in this liquor policy. We have a look at some of the relevant figures to understand as to whether this liquor policy was in fact effective. And then we part with the larger question of, is banning the solution? Second segment for today is the news update segment. And thirdly, we talk about the important legal developments of the day. So with this, let's dive into the TNA. And first, we take up for our discussion this article, which is titled as A Costly Ban. This is going to be our order of understanding of it. First, we talk about this recent amendment. Then we have a look at why this tweaking or this amendment in the stern Bihar policy it was needed, and what were some of the other changes also which was brought about in the recent past. Then thirdly, we have a look at some of the relevant figures in order to understand as to what is the ground reality. Was this ban in fact effective? And then we leave with the parting note of the author. So let's start with the why of this article. See, recently, in fact, on Tuesday, the Nitish Kumar government it amended the Stern Bihar Prohibition and Excise Amendment Act. This was to enable the release of vehicles which were impounded by the law enforcement agencies for transporting liquor. Now, this is the amendment. Earlier, this release was on payment of 50% of their insurance cover. Now, this 50% it is being reduced to 10%. Why is this happening? Because see, in across the state, there are 800 nearly stations, police stations, where more than 50,000 four-wheelers are parked, and the owners they're not claiming these vehicles, and as a result, this is leading to a lot of congestion in all of these parking spaces and these police stations. Why is this happening? Is because the fee or the fine that is being charged it is so hefty that the owners they often prefer to abandon their vehicles altogether than to pay the fine amount. If we have a look at when this policy was introduced, this was introduced in 2016, and this was a result of a lot of complaints that the government concerned received from the women of the state. So the women were aggrieved by the fact that the men of the house they often tend to spend the entire family income on consumption of liquor, and this is followed by a lot of abuse, both physical, mental, and this was leading to a lot of breaking of homes. And therefore, the total ban on consumption of liquor came about in the year of 2016. Now, see, there was a need which was realized to tweak this very stern or stringent policy. And if we have a look at some of the changes that were introduced, for instance, the first change would be that first time drinkers, they now can be set free on the payment of a certain fine. Fine range from 2,000 to 5,000. Earlier, there was a mandatory imprisonment. The second change that we can see is the removal of community fines by the government. Thirdly, the government has reduced the term of imprisonment for drinking from 10 years to 5 years. So it has been halved. And another important major change is it concerns ex gratia payment of compensation in hooch deaths. Hooch death essentially is a death which is a result of consumption of illicit liquor. So if there is any casualty, owing to consumption of illicit liquor, then the government is going to pay compensation. The compensation is to the tune of rupees 4 lakhs. Initially, there was a provision for compensation payment. However, post the 2016 Hooch tragedy, this was suspended and now the same has been reintroduced by the Nitish government. So these changes they highlight the fact that the policy it was not able to cater to the result that it essentially wanted, and as per the author this ban it has done much worse than what it sought to do, because there are a lot of increase in the instances of illicit trade in liquor. There are instances of increase in hooch deaths. There are a lot of arrests which disproportionately of those who belong to the weaker strata of the society. Let's have an understanding of some of the official estimates to see whether this ban was effective. So there are 192 persons who have died since April of 2016 in hooch tragedies, and there are about 3.75 lakh plus cases which have been registered, and over 4.25 lakhs arrests been made. A major chunk, in fact, a very significant chunk, 90% of these cases, they've been registered against those who belong to the weaker segment of the society. So here I leave all of you with two questions. First is which provision of the Indian Constitution it bestows the power upon the state government to make provisions for the prevention of or prohibition of consumption of drugs and intoxicating substances. Please put down your answers in the comment section. And secondly, what do you think? Is banning the consumption of liquor altogether the solution? I would really like to know what all of you guys think. Please put down your views and opinions in the comment section. And now we proceed to the next segment for today. Now we proceed to the national news category for today. First update is with respect to the new logo and campaign launch by Yes Bank. Yes Bank has unveiled its new logo, which forms part of its refreshed brand identity. So during an event to launch the new campaign, which is called Life Ko Banao Rich, Prashant Kumar, who is the managing director and CEO for the bank, he has explained that these latest identity developments, they will be implemented across all the client touch points of the bank, such as its headquarters, branches, products, digital platforms, and communication materials. McCann World Group, it has acted as the creative agency, while Conversation Films, it has served as the production house, which is responsible for this new logo design. It can be differentiated from the earlier design, which was more of a tick mark. That the edges of that tick mark, they were more refined. These have been smoothened here. Now, if we have a look at the reasons why these changes are being brought about, for the same, we go back to 2018. So in 2018, Yes Bank faced regulatory issues when the Reserve Bank of India, it established a moratorium on the bank because of its fraudulent lending practices. Since Yes Bank reconstruction scheme, it was executed in March of 2020 to rescue the bank, the financial institution, it has undergone significant changes to enhance its finances and to return to profitability. The Union Cabinet on Wednesday, it has given its approval for the second edition of the City Investments to Innovate, Integrate and Sustain scheme with a focus on circular economy. The scheme will run for a period of 4 years starting this year, which is 2023, and ending in 2027. The second edition, it aims to leverage and scale up the learning from the first edition. The first edition was launched in 2018 by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The three components of the 2.0 scheme, it includes financial and technical support for building projects which are focused on building climate resilience, adaptation and mitigation in about 18 smart cities. Now we proceed to two updates in the field of sports. Uttar Pradesh Hockey, it has won 13th edition of the Hockey India Sub-Junior Men National Championship for the year 2023. This is after it defeated Hockey Association of Odisha in the final, which was held at the iconic Birsa Munda Hockey Stadium in the state of Odisha. Meanwhile, Hockey Haryana, it has beat Hockey Madhya Pradesh to finish at the third position in this competition. Next, we have an update with respect to Junior Asia Cup. India has stormed into the finals. The Indian junior men's hockey team, it has stormed into the finals of the Men's Junior Asia Cup for the year 2023. This is by defeating Korea in the first semi-final, which was conducted in Oman. The Steel Authority of India, it has gotten its new chairman. Steel Authority of India Limited on Wednesday stated that Amarendu Prakash, he is going to assume the charge as the company's new chairman. He succeeds Soma Mondal, who retired from the post on 30th of April this year. As far as Prakash is concerned, he is a BTech graduate from metallurgy branch and he's an accomplished technocrat and possesses an experience which range over to 3 decades. Sachin Tendulkar is now the Smile Ambassador for Maharashtra government. Sachin Tendulkar, he is all set to be named as the Smile Ambassador for the Swachh Mukh Abhiyan. This Abhiyan is being run by the Medical Education Department of the Maharashtra government. An MOU for this very purpose will be signed by Sachin Tendulkar and the Medical Education Department in the presence of the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister of the state. The Abhiyan or the campaign, it has been conceptualized in association with the Indian Dental Association in order to promote oral hygiene. Now, before we proceed to the next update, I have a question and I request all of you to please put down your answer in the comment section. Who has recently been appointed as the brand ambassador for the purpose of promoting tourism of one of the states in the Northeast India? So I would request all of you to answer as to who is this person who has been appointed as the brand ambassador, and secondly, of which state. Moving on to the next update, which is in the segment of international news. Dubai sets goal for zero emissions public transportation by the year 2050. Dubai's Road and Transport Authority, it has unveiled a groundbreaking strategy. This strategy, it aims to achieve zero emissions public transportation by the year 2050 to reduce carbon footprint and mitigate the results of climate change. This strategic move, it aligns with the UAE's preparations for holding the 28th edition of Conference of Parties for Climate Change and the UAE Net Zero by 2050 strategic initiative. This strategy, it outlines 10 key initiatives, each assigned to various agencies and sectors within the Transport Authority. And this has brought us to the last segment for today, where we talk about important legal developments. The Law Commission has recommended retention of sedition law with certain amendments and increased punishment up to life imprisonment. In a significant development, the Law Commission of India, it has recommended against the total repeal of the sedition law, which can be found or traced under section 124 capital A of the Indian Penal Code. And the Commission has instead proposed that the provision be retained with certain amendments. The amendments would be incorporated by including the ratio of the 1962 case of Kedar Singh Nath Singh, so as to bring greater clarity regarding the uses of this provision. Next, we have an update from the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court has recently held, or reiterated rather, that the right to statutory bail of an accused, it cannot be defeated merely because the police report has been filed by the investigating agency, even when the investigation in the case is incomplete. So when the police agencies, they file the police report, even when the investigation is not complete, solely for the purpose of defeating the default bail, that the right of default bail that accrues to an accused person after the lapse of the 60 and the 90 days that have been prescribed by the law. So here the court has said that this cannot be done. And in this regard, Justice Sharma, he added that the investigating agency, quote unquote, in its anxiety of keeping the accused in custody, may take a plea that the probe is complete. However, the best judge should be the concerned trial court. The name of this particular matter is CBI versus Kapil Wadhawan and another. And this has brought us to an end for the TNA. In case you want to get access to the free study material and the TNA slides that have been used here in this video, I would highly encourage all of you to please join our Telegram channel. And for this very same purpose, you may scan the barcode here, or you may click on the link which is provided in the description. These are the point of contacts in case you want to get in touch with LawSikho. Thank you for being with us, and also please don't forget to put down your answers in the comment section.